What is up, everybody? This is Tikwe, also known as Richard, and I'm coming back to you with another casted game, playing against the English instead of playing the English. And firstly, I just want to say sorry. I'm just going to quickly pause here. We've been in a situation where I have not been posting a lot in the last week. I do apologize for that. Mainly it's because of South Africa. I am from South Africa. We've had some crazy, crazy power outages, going for something like 30, 35 hours without power, with some cable faults and everything. So it's my apologies that I haven't been posting any games. So if you guys were looking out for that, I really apologize. And thanks for the continuous support. We've gone over 15,000 views. So, I've really enjoyed that. But yeah, I want to show you guys why in this video you should be playing English. I just watched a video of Beastie Cutie, and he's been saying that English is with the Mongols one of the best factions out there, and I agree. But there's a lot of how can I say? There's a lot of learning to do when you comes to playing the English. With Holy Roman Empire, I completely messed up. You can see here, I did not go for immediate prelate. I went for a house, then going for a mill. Very much a lot of idle time. And what happened is I accidentally picked the Holy Roman Empire. So right now I'm not even used to playing them. I mean, I'm going for a wall under 1 minute, closing off my base, which wastes, housing economy. It wastes your wood, so you have to do long distance chopping. So just a very bad call in general. I wanted to go for a deer, with the prelate bonus, because the villagers get that extra food that they drop off. So instead of 10, they'll drop off 14 on normal sheep. But I want to show you guys how much food they actually drop off. It's not, I think it's more than 25. Yeah. So they actually drop off as a standard with the prelate buff. I think it's 35 food. You can see there 35 food that these villagers are dropping off. So if you look at a carcass being 350 food, if you have 10 villagers, it's a single trip to finish a deer carcass. So it's really, really strong, and I think there is possibility of a deer or maps like this being Altai being very, very viable. And you can see there the deer, the hunt is finished, sitting on 160 food. Quite a lot of food per minute. We can quickly compare that to the English player, and he's sitting on 210 food per minute. Now on the sheep's standard English opening, accidentally building a lumber camp, and they actually have the extra 50 gold. So this actually didn't cost him that much, because it's 50 wood that he lost, but it didn't affect him because he has the house, he has the lumber camp, and the mining camp, and then the lumber camp here. You can see picking up a lot of sheep. If you look at my side, I'm still very much idle with my scout that literally ran from here to down there, and I didn't do any other scouting. So very bad on my side. Just trying to salvage what I could with this little long distance chopping happening here, trying to get more villagers onto the gold. And we're sitting on 240 food per minute. We can actually just do this and check the resource per minute here. You can see on the food, we're sitting actually on 450 food per minute, and that's with 7 food villagers, compared to him on 7 food villagers, with a noticeable big difference on the food. And I guess that's just because of the deer. So I think there is a viable option to do this with the Holy Roman Empire, but I want to focus on the English. So getting the gold wrong here. He's actually going for an insane push here, with the 5 villagers on the town center, and actually dropping off on the food. You can see he didn't bring the sheep back in time. So usually what I do is, if I'm playing Altai, I run around the back here. You have always this little opening down the middle, so you get your sheep. There is usually sheep this side or this side of the map, which is about 3 or 4 sheep. You can see there's 2 more right here, and you want to do the center or the middle rotation coming back towards your base. and then you drop off the sheep and you just go onto the sheep. You get a mill, you get the wheelbarrow upgrade, and you can see here at the back there's a little bit more sheep. Right here far in the corner, more sheep. You can see this side of the map. Let's see. Not really a lot of sheep on the top, but you can see I did eventually bring back a few sheep. Still on the deer here, 280 food per minute compared to the 140 now on the French, because he's going for the landmark. We also went for the Ark and Chapel, but the one thing I want to show you guys, it's a 13-minute game, and this is why I think you should be playing the English. So to give you guys a quick breakdown, Horseman is supposed to counter archers. Men-at-arms, obviously, it's a more tank unit, so they will counter spearmen for argument's sake. Longbows actually do more damage against light infantry. So you can see here it's 6 damage, but light infantry, like spearmen, they'll do actually 12 damage against light infantry. So immediately he's going for the archers. He's currently sitting on the low food, so he's struggling to get the food supply up to build those archers. But he sent all the wood villagers here on, or the building villagers that built the council hall onto the wood line, transferred over to berries. So if this was you and you wanted to play the English better, a better food source immediately would not have been the berries, it would actually have been the deer. So yes, you could have expanded here, but the deer would have been a safe farm, just because you do get that extra gathering speed. You actually gather berries the slowest, then sheep, then deer, and then the boar, if you want to go see what is the quickest or the slowest. So now I'm immediately going for a very standard 5 archers. It's all that you need. He actually does have the blacksmith up, which is actually a good call in my opinion these days, trying to get the blacksmith before you go for the push, and then going for steeled arrows as one of your first upgrades. He actually got the healing. Oh no, he didn't, sorry, I thought he actually got the upgrade there. But yeah, he has the five archers, longbowmen plus the scout. You know how many, it's 9 villagers on wood, 10 on food. Okay, so this is why I want to show you guys why this is kind of crazy right now. So we'll hop over to my perspective here. I have no idea that he's here, but very quickly we'll notice him here on the top of the map. He does have the scout, so he has the extra visibility. But we do have the horseman coming out, because I am expecting the longbowman to come out, right? So he does get a first villager off. I pushed him all over to the wood line. I have the food, I have the gold that I need. I'm not necessarily struggling, and now I'm moving over to get an outpost up. I struggled to cancel this outpost, so what you can do is you can select all the villagers. It will actually select the tower as well. You can tab through that and stop it. So I wanted to get a forward outpost here so I can stop the longbowmen, and it's just 5 longbowmen. So now I have 2 horsemen. So a horseman does 9 damage plus, but 9 extra damage versus range. So against a archer, that would be 18 damage every single auto attack, and we have 125 health on this horseman. But as far as I understand, this is a light melee cavalry, so horseman is supposed to counter archers. But let's just see that was a single volley there, 25 damage, so they're not getting extra damage, right, on this attack. Still no steeled arrow upgrade. Literally a few longbowmen trickling in here now on the reinforcements. So that's 5 plus, let's say 5 that's down the line there. But 2 horsemen, in my opinion, should be doing really well. So the first volley, 25 damage. Second volley, 85 health. So that's 40 health gone with 2 auto attacks, right? And you can see the first attack that go off on the spearman there. But I did not think that we would lose this fight this hard. You can see they dropped down the palings. And those palings just destroyed me. I didn't know that this did so much damage. So I always thought, as the English, trained spearman needs to be present to counter, horseman rush. Because I'll show you guys how crazy this gets. So 2 horsemen just didn't even touch the longbowmen because they did the paling upgrade, and every single archer, I actually killed 1 archer. So right, so if it's 4 archers, longbowmen, and 25 damage each, so that's 100 damage just on the palings. And I don't think the palings get consumed when you have them placed down. So I'm just going to speed up this game just to... I did lose the game, but I want to show you guys how insane this is. So no upgrades on my side. He actually does get the steeled arrow upgrade now, which is going to increase his damage by 1, which means against a horseman which has 2 armor, he's going to do 100% more damage because it's 1 armor. You know, instead of 6 damage, they're going to go to 7 damage, minus even the... sorry, the 1 armor doesn't get mitigated. That's an upgrade I'm thinking of. So it's just that extra 1 damage, but because it's only 2 armor, ranged armor, it is 100% extra effectiveness on the horseman, because if you have 5, 1 damage extra means 5 extra damage for 5 longbowmen. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so now I'm trying to build up a mass. You can see I did bring back some sheep, so very heavy on the food. We have, you know, a lot of horsemen on queue. I could have gone for a second stable here, but I tried to get the iron undermesh upgrade before I rushed them, because the archers themselves won't, you know, do too much against, you know, blacksmithing. But he's denying the gold. He is free farming the gold, free farming the berries. Still no deer, just on the wood line. Very, very basic, you know, playstyle on his side. But now you can see, you know, with the longbowman, he's getting those the outpost up, so he can actually go for the extra castle network of castle upgrades here, which give them extra 25 damage, right? But look at this, it's 5 horsemen. I think he picks off the first one, and he does not go for paling, but look how much damage he's doing. And I thought 4 to 5 horsemen would actually be able to deal with this, you know. And it's a lot of resource investment on my side to be able to try and pick off these archers. And you can see we just don't have enough. I picked off the villager, I did damage onto the scout, which was bad, but that's 5 horsemen that we lost against 10 archers, and horsemen are supposed to counter archers. So, and that's without the palings. If you drop the palings, my horsemen would have just disappeared, right? So now horsemen are dead. I didn't have the outpost to cover my gold. I tried to get that extra outpost up, but now single horseman, you know, you can see how quickly he's just disappearing. And this is 8 longbowmen. So I feel like this is a strategy that I want to start abusing, especially in lower elos. Just go into a very you know, effective wood line and food, so you can get, you know, 5 in the beginning with your scout. Just push as soon as possible. I think you can push as quickly as 4 minutes 30 and be inside their base with longbowmen. Obviously, a bigger maps will take a little bit longer. And then just make sure you get an outpost. Even if you have an outpost all the way back here to fall back onto, as soon as you have your longbows, you know, you just go for siege engineering right after, and then just run them down with a bunch of longbowmen. It seems like a really, really good strategy. I couldn't even do anything with these horsemen. Even if I had 4 to 5 horsemen, I couldn't, you know, push against them. So now he has the gold isolated. He did do what he needed to. Very clever, like I said, going for an outpost first. Building up the masses right here, but when the outpost comes up, you can see a single longbowman gets that extra attack speed. But now again, I thought 4 or 5 horsemen would be sufficient to get through this archer mass. I do actually a good job here in cleaning up. You can see here, you know, we have the extra attack and the extra armor now against the horsemen, plus a lot of farms. But at this point in stage, it's just very difficult to deal with this, because every single time you lose this, you lose extra resources, and now he's adding spearmen to that, so it's even worse for your archer. So yeah, honestly, guys, just play the English right now if you want to climb. I think they're one of the strongest factions right now. Holy Roman Empire is actually not a good faction right now, but I hope that game kind of showed you guys, even with mistakes, how much pressure you can apply with the English. But I hope you enjoyed the game. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.